All right, hi boys and girls. This is Dane at JONAH Guitars, and we are looking at a Gibson lap steel. This is the original case. This is one of the best cases I have seen on old laps. I don't know what's written on the end of this here with this piece of tape, so I'll cover it. But well, let me try to actually get my camera aimed at the thing here. So, very, very clean case. It's actually super cool looking. It's just like a little mini guitar case. And then it's the back. So it's been a while since I've done any recording. I've been cleaning my shop. And, well, at the risk of showing some areas that are still a little messy, I've added tons of shelves, moved my wood storage up to the top. Anyway, I don't want to make this about shop. I put a spray booth in the corner here and added another 2 shelves to the back wall there. And this is all cleared off, my big saw table, my bandsaw. But I had to move some stuff around. I've got a router lift right here in the box and a router behind it. There's a roadie body that's going to get electrocuted. An old 72 Telly body in that box there, which is going to go back to its owner. Anyway, so I've just done some stuff. This cart's going away, trying to find places to put those clamps. So, all right, back to the guitar. Sorry. So it's about a, no, it's not about. The owner just purchased it recently. Is pretty sure it's a 1936. It was sold, I think he said it was sold as an early 37. It's actually a 36. And trying to open that with one hand ought to be, oh, look at that. So, oh, the other thing I was going to say, still haven't really gotten this clutter knocked down too well. It's taken me a long, long time to do the rest of the shop. So, I'm going to pull this thing out and get rid of the case, but this is a 7-string. I'm going to do a little lube on the tuners. I think they're in fairly decent shape. This is the really old, I'll get this light out of the way here. There we go. Really old Gibson logo. Very nice. It's got something akin, I'm not even going to say akin, I think this predates Charlie Christensen, but it's that pickup with actually separated magnets for some of it, and then 3 strings on that one magnet, and then one magnet on that last string there. So anyway, tone on the bottom, or rather volume on the bottom, tone on the top. Later models had them together on the same side, on the treble side. So let's get this out of the case and have a look. What I'm doing is strictly cosmetic. I don't have any electronics to do here, electrical. I don't have any setup. Everything's good. So we'll stop it right there and get it out of the case. All right. So here at the nut end of the thing, it looks like this is a stainless steel nut. And this has had a few things happen to it over the years. There's a couple screw holes right here that I don't know what those are about. I don't know if you can see those. You can now, I think. There you go. And then if you, I don't think you're going to be able to tell either in the camera, but this nut actually comes up and swoops out at the top on both edges, so that the high and the low string are actually cantilevered slightly right out to the very edge. This high string, I don't know what it is, high G, I guess, is actually hanging out past the edge of the fretboard, the binding and everything. This one's lining up right with the edge of the binding. So oh, sorry, I dipped out of the camera. So that's interesting that they wanted to get it that parallel, or I should say that even, or more even, with the spacing at the bridge end. As you come down to the bridge, actually inside the fretboard a little bit, and this isn't a critical thing. I'm just pointing out things that I've noticed that were cool or unusual. Like I said, this is going to be strictly a cosmetic adventure. And so what the customer is wanting me to do in this time around is there's just a bunch of holes that somebody drilled in the top of the guitar. Do I have a... Yes, I do. I don't know that you're going to be able to see them anyway. Oh, apparently. Yeah, so there's one there, and then there's one on this side of the knob. There's one in between these strings, another one under the fat string, G again. This is in a high G tuning with the extra high G out on the end there for the 7th string. Oh, I just noticed this knob has a bit of it chipped out there. The screw to tighten it is right in there, and so somebody must have used the wrong size screwdriver and chipped that out. So this is one of the two main things the owner wants me to try to accomplish on this thing, is just plug these holes and sort of have them match the finish as much as possible. Okay, I already told him, a little tongue-in-cheek, but I already told him that I really wasn't going to be able to get a match, so not to expect much. You can see somebody else has already filled a series of holes here, holes there, more holes, all, I don't know who was doing what or what they thought they were doing. The owner also thinks that the Charlie Christensen pickup was stock for this. I'll show you the back when we get in there. I'm probably not going to take it apart right now, but I mean, it'll be the same difference to you because I'll just turn the camera off until I do it. Has a relatively, and that's unusual for this year, and so I don't know if this is a modification. Okay, I'm not sure where the camera stopped at. So this is a relatively normal output jack. It's not on a plate, it's not pulled out to the surface, but it is what appears to be really just a standard output jack, mono. A lot of the early things, I've had others that have almost like some kind of weird phone connector that the 1/4 inch end for the amp is on the end of a cord, but the cord adapts to a different type of fitting, almost like they almost look like a MIDI type thing, only, you know, the modern MIDI connector it wouldn't work, but just to give you an idea of what they kind of resembled, sort of a phone, just a weird, threaded kind of thing where you would not actually plug it in, but thread it. Oh, the other thing I should point out is that, and apparently with earlier instruments, it wasn't unusual that the output jack was on the top of the guitar, or the bass side of the guitar, rather than the treble like we're used to now. So anyway, the other thing we're going to look at and try to fix somewhat is whatever happened to the back here. I'm not sure. The owner's not sure. It kind of looks like maybe somebody glued a pad on the back at one point so that when it was laying across their lap, it wouldn't slide off maybe as they were playing. But it sure is a mess. I was teasing him about, and when we open it up, I'll show you some other stuff on the inside. The pickup rod's not terribly clean, and I told him it was probably Friday and it was beer 30 and they were out of there. But we've also got this sort of thing right here. We've got these holes that are drilled really close to the, and can we even see down here? Yeah, okay, these screw holes. Every one of these screw holes, these are the pickup mounting and adjusting screws. Every one of these holes has a hole next to it as if it were mounted in the wrong place the first go around, which kind of makes me wonder if maybe it was an add-on. But I said my customer is pretty sure that is the original pickup that came with this particular unit. I am not as well versed in these deals as he is. He's got quite a collection. So I'll bring you back in when I get the back of this opened up. and let you have a look at this pickup. It's on a massive plate. It's got huge bar magnets that run up under the fretboard here. The length of these screws. There's a big plate that those are laying on. And so, I'm going to plug this thing in at some point too, just to see what this sounds like. I haven't got to hear it yet. I have not heard it. Anyway, I'll be back. 1936 Gibson 7-string. All right, peoples. We're gonna take the strings off of this thing first of all. Owner brought some strings by, custom-ish set. A couple things that are happening here now are, let's see. Well, gonna pull the strings off. This pickup is easier to see probably without the strings. Did I mention in a video? I think I did. That these, where are we? These pickup pull pieces. I'm gonna change the thingy here. All right, so I zoomed it in some. This pickup, this piece of bar magnet here is under the 3 fat strings in other pictures that the owner saw. This is a 7th, so you end up with another extra magnet out here. So this bar magnet will theoretically be under the, however you want to count these down. Okay, 7th, 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, and then you'll have 3 separate magnets here under the 3 high strings, and then a separate magnet under the low 7th string here. Okay, so we're going to pull that off. We're going to pull the back off. Well, I'm going to pull the strings off. We're going to flip this pickup around. Should probably give us a good look at the inside of this. I was saying some things before. It was beer 30 when they cut this thing in, and when they were trying to locate this pickup in the back, because you've got these extra set of holes here that look like they were just aligned differently. Well, if you push the whole mess toward those holes, then you're pushing it toward the base side, which there's hardly any room here at all on the base side for that to happen. And your treble side is wide open here, so it's really not set or centered very well in the in the cavity. The cavity looks kind of rough too. It even looks rougher on the inside. So I'm not trying to knock this. I've seen a lot of old craftsmanship, and I feel like it was better back in the day, but there's not a lot of evidence in this case. Doesn't devalue the instrument any, other than that's just the way it is. Probably, maybe even just makes it more unique. I don't know. This is the only one I've ever seen up close and personal, so maybe not. But anyway, then we're going to pull the back off. I'm going to try different chemicals on this stuff here, and we'll see what happens with that. The owner also texted me or emailed me and said that once I find something that actually phases this stuff, that he'd be happy to work on it. Anyway, that was my plan from the beginning. I was not going to spend a lot of time scrubbing that if it's something that he could do. So, and he sounds like he's willing to do that, so that's even better. This screw is stripped. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I'm turning it to the right, righty-tighty, and it's just spinning. Anyway. Okay, we're going in. All right, so we can wiggle that out. It had a fairly long pickup lead on it. So we'll probably not attempt. I should just take this whole thing off since he wants to flip that around anyway. Oh, let me show you. This is N. Interesting. Oh, I lost another screw. That That was the one that was stripped. Okay. So, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just totally confused myself. Never mind. There's no amazement now. There was a second ago when I was being an idiot. Anyway, we have got four mounting posts, and all on these machine bolts with springs underneath them. Already showed you what they look like on the outside. They're just these. Oh, I've got to turn the camera up. They're just these, you know, flathead screws that have gone into these little grommet type screw recesses. This edge is straight. This edge has a, I don't want to stress that wire. This edge has a swoop on it for whatever reason. It comes out straight a little bit. Now, and this pickup is moving around a little bit. I'm going to have to take that off. I'm going to have to take this off, I believe. But see, these things are magnets. I'm interrupting myself and losing the continuity. These are bar magnets, although they're not terribly, they are stronger on the ends. And who knows, and the sides aren't really much now. So, but the ends of these things are pretty strong, and the ends are almost sitting directly over the pole pieces here. So I'm not 100% sure where this design came from or why. This is the same shape as a Charlie Christensen pickup. I should look that up. Every time I say that, I'm thinking maybe it's Charlie Christian pickup. Maybe it's just a Christian pickup, not a Christensen. Anyway, I'll look that up and I'll put a note in there and I'll educate myself. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, it looks just like one of those other types of pickups other than the space bar magnets. Just a single bar, but they have a plate that comes out that's ends up in a triangle with a hole, three holes in a triangular shape that bolt directly through the top of a hollow body guitar that they put these things in that Charlie played. And so this is more than likely a precursor to those pickups, because these pickups, I believe, predate Charlie and his pickup. So I'm going with that. And I do need to actually take this thing off so I can access the screws so that I can rotate this pickup as my customer has asked me to do. I don't necessarily need to do that with you watching. I don't want to take, well, I need to get a good look at that solder connection there. I was going to say I don't want to take that off, but if it looks janky anyway, it'd be better to redo it. So let me put my eyes on here and get a look at that. You know what? It's ugly as sin, but it looks pretty solid. Honestly can't tell. All this braiding hanging out here, that's wild. You know, I don't think I want to mess with that. It's like I said, it's pretty ugly and pretty apt to stay that way. It's got shrink. I guess that was factory too. It's got little pieces of shrink tubing about, I'm going to say, I'm looking through my visor, it's hard to say. I'm going to say about 2 inches long. Little pieces of shrink tubing that just stacked end to end on this braided cable. And it comes down here and there's braid kind of frayed all over the place, and I'm not sure how they kept it away from this solder connection here. And then the rest of the braid went over to the so anyway, the center conductor somehow managed to not have any of the shielding braid touch it, because it was working, so I know that it was making contact and it wasn't shorting out. Anyway, all right, I know y'all want to know about that. I'm going to go ahead and just attempt to get this thing unscrewed. So without stressing that wire. So here we go. Let's Let's move all this down here and move you back into the scene. That one's loose, that one's loose. Okay, so all the springs are just gonna fall. And, okay, and I have made a recent purchase from StuMac because they were on sale. And that's these tape dispensers. Now, since I cleaned up, I have them on a shelf, not even remotely within arm's reach of where I'm sitting. So now that I need tape, if I hadn't had this roll in the old kind of tape holder box on my bench, I would have had to have gotten up. So I don't know. All right, I just did that so I can flip this over and not lose the screws. So spring. Where'd the rest of the springs up? There's another spring. I'm gonna go with long springs in the front. I didn't even notice. All right, I don't know where the other springs are at, so let's just lay this thing down and we'll hunt. They're more than likely stuck to the magnets. Ta-da, there's one. That was in the front, the other one went through the hole and out. So I've got all 4 strings accounted for. All right, once again, we're at a better position to check this pickup out. And, oh, isn't that cute? How the heck? I guess I'm gonna have to unbolt the entire thing here. Now we have a set of 4 screws holding the magnets to the plate. And hopefully that between the plate through the magnet, there'll be screws that I can unscrew the pickup. And, you know, we might get our wish here. No, I'm not losing my mind. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so actually that's going to put our wire closer to our pot when I flip that mag. I was thinking it was going to do just the opposite of that. All that stuff in my way, I couldn't tell. All right, let's go ahead and lay this down right here where it goes through the body and see what we can do. Oh, so I don't know if you can tell this or not from where you are. Come on in here, take a look. We got a square screw. This obviously has been tinkered with. We've got a square screw here. We've got regular hex type screws here. Hex type screw with a star washer attached. So anyway, I just want you to get the full effect here, guys and gals. I don't want to leave the girls out. I think the half a girl, according to my analytics, that watches my videos. I don't want to offend her. So please continue to watch half a girl. Do you get the joke? You know, like the average family with 3.2 children or whatever. Yeah. Well, that one is super tight. The screw? Oh, the screw looks like it might be turning with the. All right, sorry. You know what? Making YouTube videos has caused me to do worse than I even did before. Talk to myself constantly, like I have a camera running all the time, just in case something really great pops out. There we go. Oh goody. And those appear to be slotted, so they're adjustable, which makes this really a unique process. If I had known this, I would have taped the edges of these things. Well, however, you can sort of see where they've been living. No, you can't. Not at all. Okay. We're going to have to just get close. Magnets don't show from the outside. I still would like them to be the way they were, but I can't see where they'd have a huge amount of variation from one, you know, off center to the next. We'll see. There we go. Rumbling. Rumbling? I'm rumbling. Okay, so we got those screws loose. It's a good thing I'm slightly ambidextrous, although I'm really not demonstrating any of that, am I? Okay, we're gonna Did I mention I gotta buy batteries? Crap. Oh, shoot, I wonder what John Fogerty's doing right now. There's a I'm telling you, whoever was working on this thing was having a bad day down at the old GIBSON plant, wherever that was in 1936, where they put these things together. You got holes just drilled all through it, burrs just rough as a cob and sharp. And now we've got the two magnets. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these bolts out so that they don't get lost in the shuffle. So I never really gave it a lot of thought, but I guess magnets are just steel. So yes, you can drill magnets. I must have missed that day in science class. All right, a little tiny machine screw there. Well, 17-minute mark. Unless I edit some out, which you know I will. All right, so we're just gonna set these magnets in the order they came off in right here. And pick this up. Now, I don't want to keep ragging on this little lap steel guitar. Oh, I think that was supposed to be soldered onto that ground lug right there, but it just popped loose. So we're going to start again. Camera, batteries, blah, blah. I got to buy batteries. So just going to drop that washer on there. I don't know which nut, which was where. I don't care. Oh, I do remember the square nut was right here. And then the star nut was here. So the other two. See how I did that? Feel like singing something, but you know, it get copyright struck. And so, it'll get a copyright strike. And you know, I don't want that to happen, so otherwise I would belt one out for you. Well, you know what, if we snug these other ones up, they'll hold them. I'm just telling you everything that goes through my head here, well, anything I can repeat, just so you know. Look at that, see, that's already janky. Those magnets aren't parallel, so I ended up moving stuff after all. But anyway, yeah, I was trying to just kind of keep you in the thought process. Come on. The magnetic thingy going on there again. Now, here's the question. Is this one good or is that one good? Can't really tell. I'm going to go with this one's okay. And let's see if we can push that out. Yeah. And, you know, that might be all right. That pickup is sideways, so we need to square that up. There we go. A little more maybe. All right, maybe that's why they have all those holes widened up. Yeah. All right. Before I get all this stuff just cranked down until it smokes, I'm going to put this in here. Oh gosh, how do you do that? Now I know why these people had such a problem getting this stuff located. Got to have the thing on the plate. All right, I can do that. Do. Yeah. Golly. Yeah, we're gonna have to do. I'll fast forward through all this. I got to put the thing back on the back to actually get it to a point where I can see if the pickup lines up with the hole or not. In which case, I'll have to take it back apart and make adjustments. Like I said, now I know why this might have been difficult for these folks. Got to get that through the hole there and get a plate, get a screw on it. A nut. Come on. There you go. Maybe while I'm here, I'll hang that one. Oh yeah. All right, let's get this little guy in here. Now I'll probably find out I didn't actually rotate the pickup, put it right back on the way it started or something stupid like that. No, I think I got it. All right, so those are in there enough that I should be able to see what's going on. And this wire, golly, this wire is going to be a problem. I just know it. Like I said, that'll give me an opportunity to pull that off of there and fix that nasty joint. All right, it's through the hole. Let's pop a couple screws in here to align things. All right, and so, you know, that doesn't actually look bad. I suppose that, oh, you know what? It's probably supposed to line up with the strings, right? Let's see. I think I could fudge toward the treble side, and well, everything else looks really good. My fat string here, be a G in this case. Fat G looks like it's going to line up perfectly. My high G kind of goes out past that a bit. I might just split the difference. So if we look at this, looks like this whole thing needs to shift over to the treble side a bit. Yeah, I'm going to shift this over about a 1/16. It will actually make it look better on the route. Oh, I could also shift it forward a bit. There's room to do that in those holes. All I got to do is remember all of this upside down, so bear with me. I'll tell you what, I'm not even gonna make you watch that. I'll just do it, and you know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna fiddle fart with this thing until these pole pieces go a 1/16 inch that way, and got probably about a 1/16 inch of an inch forward as well. Then we'll have that adjusted to fit. Oh, boy, these things are fun.